My name's Joy. I was a resident at Discovery Point in April of 2019. I think I was just looking for refuge somewhere safe and found my family here. So I woke up from like a really deep depression. I called my insurance company. I was like, I'm gonna die today, or you're going to help me find a rehab by the end of the day. They put me in connection with some phone number. I don't know who I talked to, but they started texting me addresses. So I just kept driving until I got here. So I found out that I was an addict when I was 15. And at that point I was addicted to cocaine and Xanax. So I went into treatment and I stayed sober for a very long time. Created programs for kids in addiction, high school programs within my high school, and I was really productive. Went to college and studied addiction. And then at about 22, 23, when my kids started having a little bit of independence, you know, not needing to be bottle fed and diapers changed, you know, and I didn't have work and I didn't have college, and I had these two babies that weren't babies anymore, and I had a husband and I had no idea who I was, and there was a lot of pressure to be every person that they needed me to be. It was just too much. So I got through my day with like what felt like split personality all day long. And then whenever I put the family to bed, I found alcohol. At the time, it was like, okay, I've done everything I'm supposed to do. The kids are taken care of, the husband's taken care of, the house is clean. I'm gonna sit down and drink, and then I'm gonna fall asleep. It's my time now. And it was alcohol, it wasn't Coke and Xanax at 15. So it just seemed more justifiable. But inside, did I feel like I was treading on thin ice? All the time. There was always this next morning of anxiety, guilt, fear. Like, what am I gonna do? There's gonna come a day where this has to stop. Am I gonna be able to? And no one around me knows. My husband felt like talking about my addiction as a teenager was attention seeking. So he didn't want to hear about that. You know, you're an adult. You make your own decisions. 12 years later, I found myself at DPR. That 12 years almost killed me. So anyways, I was probably 25, 26, and then they put me back on Xanax because my anxiety was my doctors put me back on Xanax. This doctor had put me on Xanax. That's how I got addicted to Xanax. So I was first prescribed Xanax when I was 12 for trauma. No one ever used the word trauma until it came to DPR. I had no idea that the sounds that upset me, I can't hear chewing. I can't hear certain things without being fully triggered. Like it's emotionally painful for me. And I never understood that. And one of the counselors here was just like, this is trauma. And I'd bring up something else that randomly gives me anxiety. This is untreated trauma. And so no one used those words. My mom and the doctors said, she's manic, she has anxiety, she's bipolar, she's an addict. They never asked if I had been abused. They never asked any questions. They just had a lady with a broken baby, and I was the broken baby, and she just asked the doctors to fix me. So it was Ritalin all day, Xanax at night, and then by the time I hit junior high and high school, I found out that Ritalin and Xanax were a hot commodity, and I had bottles of it just stored up in my cabinet, and I became the most popular girl in school. I would start with people pleasing. You know, wake up, is the husband okay? Are you in a good mood today? Who do I need to be today to make sure that he's okay? Because he can't leave. He can't be angry. He can't be I need to make him okay. So that would always be my first outfit to put on. And then it would be to be patient when I didn't feel like I could be patient, over and over and over again throughout the day, because these babies deserved a patient, calm mom, and all I wanted to do was scream. And then the times that I did lose my temper and I did yell and I did have outbursts, like, you know, it's simple things like, Gage, put your shoes on, put your shoes on, okay, 20 minutes is up, we're walking out the door, why aren't your shoes on? And then I hated myself. So now I'm crying, the baby's crying. De-escalate the situation, apologize, fix his feelings, because he can't feel trauma, he can't feel anxiety, he can't feel those things. I can't put those feelings on him. And then by the end of the day, I was just spent. April 12th, 2019. That day, my now ex-husband, I found out that I was pregnant, and he told me that I would have an abortion or we would be divorced. And I put on that outfit. I made sure that he was okay and that he wasn't gonna leave. And he took me to an abortion clinic, and I got the pill, and he dropped me off at home on the 12th, and he left the kids, and he left 4 bottles of vodka and he went and refilled my Xanax and put it all by the bed. And for the next 7 days, my daughter changed the towels out from underneath me, and I drank all of the bottles of vodka and took all 40 of the Xanax. And 7 days later, when I stopped bleeding, I woke up and decided I would just die. And I don't remember what made me pick up the phone to make the phone call. I was blacked out driving here. People on the phone constantly, like, we need to come pick you up. And I wouldn't let them. I'm not gonna wait. If I sit here and wait, you're going to find a body, not a person. So I drove. I remember the realization that I was in rehab and everything was going to change when I walked through the side door and got to the nurse's station. And there was a guy sitting at a table eating cereal. And I looked at him, and I looked over at the nurse's station, and I just collapsed to the floor and cried. I just laid on the floor and cried. So I knew he was going to divorce me for this and coming here, and I knew that I was going to have to say some of the things that happened during that marriage, and I knew that he was going to find out that I was honest about things, and it was going to make him very angry. So I was scared. I felt like I was putting everything at risk. I felt like he was going to take the kids from me. I'm the one in rehab. He's the one that looks like Mr. Perfect on the outside. 11 years older than me, has it all together. If you look at him, he's got it all together. And it was terrifying. But at the same time, I felt like I escaped a prison that I had created for myself. And I felt like when I came in and I saw, it's hard not to use his name because he's like a best friend to me still today. When I saw him sitting there eating ice cream or cereal, he got up and picked me up off the floor with nurses, and they just held me, and I needed to be held. felt like it was finally just, I was finally sick.